well, what if I want to build one of these homes? Can we talk a little bit about the process of, hey, how do I come in, decide on a lot, figure out a floor plan, start with the choices? Because I know a lot of my building clients a lot of times just think it's a completely overwhelming process, and having a system in place like you do, I think helps people understand that it doesn't have to be as overwhelming as they think. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out another episode of the Aaron Advantage podcast. Today I am joined by Sloane Hayhurst with JGO Homes. Sloane, how you doing today?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here. And actually, I'm glad to be here on set. We're actually in the model home at Ironwood subdivision that you guys are building here in Newburgh, Indiana. So can you tell me a little bit about the actual home that we're sitting in here today?
Yes. So this is the Carolina. It's a little over 1,600 square feet. It is full of beautiful luxury energy efficient materials.
Yep.
And it is 2-bedroom with a patio. So it's really designed for less maintenance.
Fantastic. Now, I heard you say that this is the Carolina, so that tells me that you've got some state-named series for the homes in the subdivision. Is that correct?
We absolutely do.
Okay.
We've got the Georgia, the Carolina, and the Arizona.
Fantastic. So what is the difference between those three floor plans that you guys are offering?
So the difference will really be size. So 1,600 square feet up to 1,900 square feet.
Okay, fantastic. So you say you're really focused on lower maintenance with the smaller 2-bedroom floor plan layout and the lots with the small patios. Can you give me a little bit of the mindset that went into kind of developing that particular luxury plan for a low maintenance buyer?
Yes. So the idea was less maintenance, low maintenance. So we have those smaller home sites, less to care for. You have higher energy efficiency in these homes. So the R values are increased from the foundation all the way up to the ceiling.
Okay, fantastic.
So that saves a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Less funds to the utility department, right? But the idea was originally to give someone just that luxury feel without breaking the bank, right? That leads us to maybe a demographic where 2-bedroom was a need, but we have quickly found that that's not the average buyer here either. We see young professionals,
right?
So it's not just one demographic. So it's really cool. It's neat.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head of something I wanted to talk about a little bit later on, starting off with the R values, which most buyers are like, R value, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know why I should care about that. But the really important thing is that it's less money out of your pocket every month going to somebody else, which gives you a little bit more buying power because of the fact that you don't have those additional expenses. So particularly in this luxury product that you guys are offering, your energy efficiency implementations are kind of state of the art, things I haven't seen in a lot of other home builders. So let's just start with the energy efficiency from the foundation up. Some of the things that you're including automatically for this product to make sure that the buyer is getting the most efficient home possible.
Okay. So starting at the foundation, there is an additional, I believe it's 4 inches of insulation that has been added to these homes. So then we go up to the walls, and they are 2x6 versus 2x4. So
Key differentiating factor there.
Yes. So you'll really notice it in the window seals. They're a lot thicker, wider. Now, I immediately think I'm going to put some plants in these windows.
Right.
But I don't know. Not everyone's a plant enthusiast like me. But that's where you'll visually see that.
Right.
All the way up to the ceiling. So there's an increase in the depth and the thickness of the insulation in the ceilings.
So you really, at every level of this home, have done things to improve that energy efficiency all the way around.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned the 2x6, because definitely one of those things that a typical buyer is not going to notice when they're going into a home is the additional thickness in the exterior wall. And I think it's good to point that out. And that's one of the things that I often tell people about is, they are really making sure that they are including additional insulation between the walls to really help out that efficiency. And it's one of those things that cost more for the builder that a buyer doesn't necessarily see and attribute that value without understanding what's being done there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about, you really mentioned a couple times that I think is important to hit on too, is this is a luxury product. And you guys have really impressed me with the materials that you're putting in here. So tell people a little bit about what they can expect as far as just the stuff that's automatically included if they build one of these homes.
Okay. So we have spent the last 2 years really diving into wants and needs for materials in our homes, quality, from the flooring to the windows, all the lighting, all of the above. With these homes, what you really see in this room is included in that base price. So the crown molding, you'll see the trim around the windows, the soft close cabinets, the granite in the kitchen, the granite in the bathrooms, the tile shower. So we really wanted to set a standard here and an expectation, and you can feel it. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful homes I've ever worked out of and that I see.
Yeah, and I'm looking over here and I'm seeing that the 2023 Parade of Homes won Best Kitchen in its class. So, I mean, that just goes to show you what kind of quality and beauty you can expect in these homes. And I got to say, you're absolutely correct. It is one of the nicest homes that I've been in a long time, especially with the way that it's laid out and just brings your eye directly to the kitchen when you first walk in. That open floor plan, high ceilings, all the things that you've come to expect with the quality luxury products that Jago's putting out, which is absolutely awesome.
Yes, I don't want to downplay any of our other homes, any of our other processes, procedures, materials, homes. The flooring, for example.
Right.
We now include a scratch-resistant, water-resistant plank flooring throughout the main living areas. And nobody really knows that until you come in and experience what our new homes have to offer.
Right.
Like you said, the 9-foot ceilings. That is a standard for us. We make sure that you have that feel. The height ceilings and the oversized windows, it really just adds to the feel of your home.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience with buyers going to, let's say, a JGO home versus looking at an existing home from the 80s. Like, man, you can really tell a difference in how high the ceilings are and how large the windows are and what kind of feel that gives you inside the house. So, so getting back to, the homes here in Ironwood, lower maintenance, the outdoor patio spaces and everything. One thing that I will say that I thoroughly enjoy about this product line specifically is the fact that you have some really great outdoor living spaces that come included with the homes. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the options for the patio spaces that are available for buyers here?
Yeah, so each one of these plans offers a covered patio. It's a really neat space to extend your living outdoors, and then it's covered, right? It's comfortable. That's the idea. So, like here in this home, you have the kitchen, the dining room, and then right there you have these huge big doors and windows on the other side, so you can really kind of extend that out there. There are options though to choose a flex space. Maybe you want a bonus room, a TV room, an office, or a third bedroom. All of those are options.
Fantastic. So basically, because it's that covered patio, if I'm not mistaken, they're all under the same roof line of the envelope of the home.
Yes.
So that's where you have that ability to basically eliminate that interior wall to move it out to get that additional space.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, here in Ironwood, small lots, low maintenance. The first thing I have everybody ask me about when they drive by or see these is, are they condos?
They are not condos.
What is the key difference between a condo and what's offered here at Ironwood?
So here in Ironwood, you have a single family home. You have the ability to have more natural light because you're not connected to another unit. You have more independence, but still have less maintenance. Right. Where a condo, you will have a neighbor on one side at least, or on both sides. So the aesthetics are different. They generally look very similar.
Right.
So you're able to have that independence, that style that you want. Again, with the lighting, and then on top of that, typically with Condos, you have HOA fees.
Yeah.
I mean, you have someone taking care of those things, but generally it's a pretty hefty price.
Right. Yeah. And I know that one of the things that people take for granted when they're looking at condos is how expensive those can be. And I've seen some with monthly HOA costs of, $500 to $600 just for the monthly cost just to be a part of that association.
Yes.
So you guys definitely don't have that here, which is fantastic.
No.
Yeah. So we mentioned a couple of the other floor plans. Obviously, we are sitting in the Carolina. We have the Arizona and the Georgia. The Georgia is actually the one that I had as my first listing here in Ironwood, largest of the 3 floor plans. And that one was also built as a spec, but had an interior flex space that could also be utilized in other ways. So if I'm not mistaken, you guys still have some other specs going up. Have you looked at changing any of those floor plans to offer some 3-bedroom options?
We have. So as we have created this new series, we have taken into consideration, your feedback as a listing agent and any customers that have toured what they think would be, best or wanted or needed. So really going forward, our new market homes or move-in ready homes, we're including a 3rd bedroom because that's what we're seeing people need.
Awesome. So with that being said, obviously you have more options by including that 3rd bedroom in some of the homes. So the floor plans give you a little bit more flexibility, which gets into the people who think about, well, what if I want to build one of these homes? Can we talk a little bit about the process of, hey, how do I come in, decide on a lot, figure out a floor plan, start with the choices? Because I know a lot of my building clients a lot of times just think it's a completely overwhelming process. And having a system in place like you do, I think helps people understand that it doesn't have to be as overwhelming as they think.
No. And we have perfected our process and we continue to do so. So we meet and we will decide on a community. We'll decide on a floor plan, decide on a home site, but we're going to have a really in-depth conversation about what you want and what you need, what you're moving from. And, in reality, there is a little bit of compromise with every new home purchase, but we're going to rank those and help you decide if we are the builder for you, if this is the home site for you, the community, we take into consideration schools, all of those things. So when we get through that, then we set up an appointment with our design team.
Okay.
So yes, it can be overwhelming when you are going to a builder who says, here's your budget, and you go pick these things out or whatever it may be. But we have access to a lot of beautiful energy efficient materials already.
Right.
And we're going to provide those proven performers to you. But if you as a client want something outside of that, that is acceptable. So we're going to make it as least overwhelming as possible. Then we are going to do a site walk. We're going to meet with the superintendents. We're going to do a framing visit. We're going to make sure everything's on track and just help you through the entire process.
Now, with that being said, the other thing that people think of as overwhelming in this process is, oh my gosh, it takes forever in a day to build a house. I've heard of people thinking that it's going to take them a year or two from the time they decide to build to the time they actually get to move in. It's not like that with Jago, is it?
No. If you choose another builder, it will be. But JGO Homes, it's 3.5 to 4 months. It's 90 to 120 days.
It's because you have those systems in place to know exactly what you're doing, right?
Well-oiled machine. We have great relationships with our subcontractors, suppliers. When it's really a blessing to have a company like this in our community, because we are able to purchase the materials that we are in the quantity that we are, and then it's a savings to the customer.
Yeah. And talking about savings, we hit on that energy efficiency and we hit on some of the things that you're doing as far as having that purchasing power. Now, another amazing thing that I've been seeing on a lot of my listings that I keep telling buyers about is some of these incredible rate incentives that you guys are offering right now to make brand new construction a more affordable product than people realize it can be. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Yes. So right now we are offering a 5.5 USDA, FHA, VA, 30-year fixed mortgage.
That's fixed. 5.5.
Yes.
All 30.
Yes.
That's the thing that people don't realize. They think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get it for what, a year, 2? And I'm like, no, that's the life of the loan. That is fantastic.
It's through FBC Mortgage. That is on our move-in ready homes. So how we're getting that rate is JGO Homes is purchasing in advance a buy down
Fantastic.
for the customer. So they are limited. But as long as you follow the steps, we get you in here, we take care of everything we need to financially, that is yours, and it's a gift to you for choosing JGO Homes.
Fantastic. And then I know that you have partnered with other local lenders as well for buy downs for those conventional home buyers.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. If I'm not mistaken, I just saw we just got the rate back to 6.25, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it's 6.62. Let me double check that.
I got an email from Lindsay that says 6.25.
6.25. That's even better. That's what.
I got my email right here. I'll confirm that for you. 6.625. Sloane is correct.
Oh, okay. Say that one more time.
6.625. Sloane is correct. This is why I always double check myself.
Okay. Well, good. That is through First Federal. Same scenario. We are buying down your rate for you. And then there are other preferred lenders in our community too that we are buying points for our buyers. So we'll handle that when it comes.
Fantastic. So we're clearly sitting in the model home here in Ironwood today, but this isn't the only community that you guys offer. As a matter of fact, it's not even the only community that you offer in Newburgh. So can you tell us a little bit more about some of the other communities, maybe the differences that you can find in each JGO community, and some information on other homes people may consider looking at?
Okay. Yes, we have several communities kind of scattered over through the community, over Evansville, Newburgh. They all really feature something a little different. The difference is schools, location is very important. So here we're in Ironwood, a very unique product, but we have Williams Landing, which is near downtown Newburgh, off Pollock. You have a listing there. That community's almost sold out. There's 4 homes left. Beautiful homes. We've done some extra things to those homes, like adding blinds, extensions to the driveways. So those are at a really great investment, really great in price for a family.
And to kind of mirror what he said earlier, also offer that scratchless, water-resistant plank flooring in there. The one that I have has granite countertops as well. I mean, absolutely beautiful home.
Yes, on that note, move-in ready homes, we typically add what people typically choose. So yes, they're going to have granite. They're going to have the different level cabinets, those kinds of things.
Right.
So then if we move more towards East Newburgh, we have the Berkshire area. So we have Turnberry at Berkshire. We have Waterside at Berkshire. Then we have Essex at Berkshire. Now, Waterside is something that's very unique as well. These homes are walkout basements, over 5,000 square feet, very personalized or custom.
Right.
So if you guys really want to see what beauty that we can put into exteriors and homes and things like that, there's something very different there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the products on Waterside are absolutely stunning. I believe the Roosevelt was one that was recently built out there that is just absolutely gorgeous with that finished basement when it was all ready to go. Just it took everything I had to not go buy it myself.
Yeah. And then we have McCutcheon Trace in McCutcheonville. Lots of availability there, more mature trees, mature communities around there. And then we have Goldfinch Cove, which is new. It's on North Green.
Shout out to my buddy Will Smith for getting the first listing for JGO Homes out in Goldfinch Cove.
Yes. So they're very close to each other.
Right.
But you're either on Green or in McCutcheonville, different schools, opportunities there. And then we have the West Side, Westridge Commons. So, that community is really, really pretty out there.
Yeah.
It's hidden out there past USI.
You get the ability to see some of the different elevation changes that Evansville has to offer with a little bit more rolling land as opposed to all the flat stuff that we're accustomed to, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yes. And then we have a new community coming to Henderson. So that's Bentley Point, and it should be next year.
Fantastic. something else I wanted to ask you about, because you had kind of mentioned this as part of the process. Where do people go when they want to set up an appointment for Jago? Because, you said, you come in, you decide on a community, you decide on a floor plan. Where do they come find you to say, hey, Sloane, I'm thinking about building with Jago. Not really sure what the process is or where to go. How do they get a hold of you and figure out where to get with you on that?
So call me, text me. I'll provide you with that information, I'm assuming.
I would like to hear that number.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have it. They would like to hear that number.
Okay, 812-319-1953. That's my cell phone. Just call me, text me. We can set up that appointment, or reaching out to you and you registering the clients. That will get us an appointment set up. They can go online and find my contact information on jagohomes.com, as well as going to my business Facebook page, Sloane Hayhurst JGO Homes.
Yeah, and I think that's something also important to hit on is the availability of finding you anywhere online, including social media. But also you mentioned something where they can call the agent. And Jago is happy and willing to work with agents to have buyers come in to buy those homes that are available in the market.
Yes. So if you are searching for a new home right now and you do have a realtor, please tell them that you'd like to come to Jago if they haven't already, because they're not doing you a good service by not getting you in front of us. So that way we can decide if new is the route you really want to take.
Yep. And I think the other thing there is, a lot of people look at price only and they're not even considering the amazing rates that are going into it, or, well, the house that I'm interested in isn't in the community where I want to be. And it's like, well, we can find you the same floor plan somewhere else to give you an idea what it looks like and still get you a lot in the community you want to be in. So the other thing that I always hear people say, and I got to touch on this a little bit because this is something that, say earlier this year, we sat down and had a conversation about the fact that you don't have to be in a Jago community to be in a Jago home. Can you talk a little bit about the opportunity to go into what are called scatter sites and have a Jago home built?
Yes. Scattered sites are that. That doesn't mean that the client or the buyer is scattered, but that's what we call it. Yes, I am working with 2 right now. So you find your own land. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe you bought it somewhere, and we will come in, evaluate the land for you, get the same process as finding your floor plan, all of those things, and then we will build your dream Jago home on your own land.
Yeah. Now, what I will say as a disclaimer, and this is just the realtor in me making sure that people are aware of this and educating people, is if you're looking at land to build on, before you buy it, before you even make the offer, have the conversation with a builder for them to come out and evaluate it and make sure that, even if you put the offer in, that it's contingent upon being able to get a favorable site cost analysis, because there's a lot of work that goes into clearing and prepping a site for building on.
Yes, it is. And that is what we would prefer. You're right, Aaron. So we would get Craig Jago out. He'd come take a look, be able to give us some initial thoughts, some estimates, and then you're ready to go, or maybe you reconsider before you even start the purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we kind of hit all the hot topics on the head for what I needed to discuss today. I'm really excited to be in here and let people know a little bit more about the luxury products you have available and some of the affordability options that you're offering. Is there anything else specifically that you think is important to make sure that people understand if they're considering JGO Homes?
Yes, you are investing in your future. You're investing in a beautiful, energy efficient home, a company that is family owned. Service and warranty is big for us. We are ranked nationally in the top tier. So we are not the same company we were 10 years ago. We're not the same company we were 2 years ago.
Right.
Even the training I attended last Tuesday, 8 hours in Owensboro, I'm not even the same person that I was last week. Right. So you're really going to be wowed and surprised in what we craft for you.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with that more. And as somebody who has had multiple buyers on market-ready homes versus people who are considering building, I can tell you from experience that Sloane does a phenomenal job taking care of my clients, making sure that they are well represented, as well as keeping me informed throughout the process to make it as smooth and easy as possible. So if you're thinking about building or buying a JGO home, give me a shout. give Sloane a shout. I cannot say enough good things about him and about JGO Homes. So, Sloane, thank you so much for taking some time today to have a little chat.
Thanks.